Hey community, how are you? Robert Schreiber, Chief Activist at the Bayard Rustin Center for Social Justice here. Thanks so much for joining us once again for another incredible inspirational power hour. I'm so excited about our guest. I almost don't want to tell you about everything else that's going on for the month, but I know I have to because we're equally excited about all the folks that we're going to have joining us. First and foremost, I want to just mention what I'm wearing on my chest. This was hand embroidered for me by the incredible craftivist Kyle Burkhart. Kyle did the pillow at our center a while back. She was on the Power Hour early on, months and months ago, which I cannot believe I'm saying months and months ago already. She's an incredible craftivist. She does work, sewing, embroidery, and craft work that does great social justice benefit for so many people. So thank you for this beautiful gift. If I was Oprah, I'd say it's my new favorite thing. So thank you, Kyle, for that support and that love. I just want to go through the guests we have coming up for Pride Month because we're so excited about sharing time with all these folks and so very, very proud to bring them to you. We just confirmed that the incredible Liz Winstead will join us at the end of the month, co-creator of The Daily Show and Air America, and working now with the Abortion Access Fund. And we cannot wait to talk about reproductive rights as it is a huge integral part of social justice. So thank you so much, Liz, for being with us later on this month. We're going to have on the incredible Darnell Moore. We're going to have on the incredible Charlotte Clymer. We're going to have on the incredible and one of our favorites, Walter Nagel, Bayard Rustin's partner, and he'll be joined by Senator Scott Wiener, who is the person who spearheaded in California the efforts to get Bayard pardoned for his crimes of sodomy back in the 50s and 60s. So actually, Walter and Scott have never met, so they're going to meet virtually here for the first time, and we're thrilled to bring you that meeting of two inspirational folks in our community. We're going to have Rain Valdez, wonderful transgender actress, and created the first transgender class of acting in LA, and we're so thrilled to talk to her about her journey as well. So many inspirational folks going to be with us. Don't want to forget Dr. Ibram X. Kennedy's going to be with us too, the week that his new book, Anti-Racist Baby, comes out. We have a copy here. We're so thrilled to have it. It's an incredibly inspirational companion piece to How to Be an Anti-Racist, which happens to be the #1 bestseller in the country, and deservedly so. The rest of this week is also very wonderful. We have queer yoga tomorrow night, and it's really a time for us all to breathe together and share together, and I think we all agree we need a little bit of that right now. Also, at the top of the hour, please do join us. We're going to be joined by a wonderful high school student who is planning a vigil for George Floyd in Cranberry, New Jersey, and we want to talk about her efforts and the young people who are involved and how much they inspire all of us to do better work. Then Wednesday, we'll be joined by Ann Lieberman from Athlete Ally, and then Thursday, Carly Moore, The Not Wives, wonderful book that we have here at the center, great piece of literature. And then Friday, finally, we have our open and out mic night as always. So join us for every night. We have something special for you. So we look forward to seeing you all. And then, of course, coming up on the 20th, we have our virtual Pride hosted by Mike Hotpence and Harmonica Sunbeam. Join us for that. That'll be an incredible evening where we include all of our beautifully diverse communities. But all of that is wonderful. Not as wonderful as what we have for you tonight. I have been personally so excited to have this conversation with Michael Arceneaux, great author, first book, I Can't Date Jesus. Funny, sweet, harrowing, emotionally a journey that you want to take with him, and you wish he was here reading you the book. So I'm so thrilled that we get to speak with him tonight. And then his second book that came out, I Don't Want to Die Poor, equally as good, equally as important, and very, very different. So I can't wait to talk to him about how he came to the journey of doing these two books. And without further ado, I guess we just bring him on, right? Michael, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're so thrilled to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
That's so sweet of you to say. I promise you, we are happy to have you. Your journey is so extraordinary. So I just want to start with you just sharing how you came to the first book and then how you came from the first book to the second book. I think that's a great way for us to start. And then we'll I'm sure we'll have 1,000 threads to pull from there, and you'll be here for 2 hours.
If let's say I could go back literally, I guess maybe 10, 11 years now. I mean, like a lot of people, they have an idea of like, I want to write a book, or at least for me, I knew that I wanted to write essay collections kind of before they weren't really popular again, because I grew up liking writers like Sloane Crosley, David Sedaris, but also Village Voice columnists like Lisa Jones, and even Kevin Powell. So I always knew I wanted to write a book in that spirit, like a memoir. I initially wasn't necessarily comfortable about writing about my sexuality. Not that I was ashamed of it, and I'm saying this by the time I was already out and an adult, part of my neighborhood in Harlem. But once I still wanted to do that, and I had put together a proposal, to make a long story short, it took several years for me to get a book deal. So I knew I wanted to write about Catholicism. I knew I wanted to write about intimacy. I knew I wanted to write about my struggles about acceptance, my very specific struggles and what kind of shaped those. But it took a very long time to actually get the opportunity to do that. And by the time I Can't Date Jesus came out, I had already had an idea for a second book. My student loan debt has really impacted every facet of my life. And I really wanted to kind of shift the narratives about what I read about it, kind of in the same way I never read a book like I Can't Date Jesus. I never read from frankly, a Black gay guy like me. So I wanted to do that. And I also wanted to kind of really lend voice to what I think is a really specific struggle for a lot of people, particularly private student loan debt, which disproportionately impacts Black college graduates. So I wrote an essay in the Sunday Review for the New York Times a few months before I Can't Date Jesus. It was very much strategic by design. I wanted to get attention for I Can't Date Jesus. I wanted to lay the groundwork for the second book, what maybe could be a second book. That essay did really, really well because, frankly, no one really writes about student loan debt in terms of how it really kind of impacts your life. And so I Can't Date Jesus, just getting it out there was its own struggle because, as I've been very vocal, I didn't get the money I think I deserved up front. We did better with the second book. But yeah, if I could put both, I think I Can't Date Jesus is very much about how you can figuring out who you are independent of what you were conditioned to believe what that meant. In my case, that was being Black and Catholic, and my uncle died of AIDS when I was 6. I don't want to die poor is, not to trivialize that point, but it's to say, there is a beauty in figuring out who you are. Like there's a freedom there, but true freedom in this country as it's, structured comes with a cost. Like freedom has choice. So I write a lot about, social mobility and the kind of facade about what I think a lot of this country represents, just kind of through the prism of like my private loan debt and how basically I took out a 6-figure debt just to basically kind of escape the turmoil that in my house. Because if you read I Can't Date Jesus, I grew up in, an abusive environment. And yeah, I think that was a very long-winded way of trying to explain both, but hopefully that was helpful.
That was wonderful. I mean, we're here. It's a power hour.
Right.
So please be as exponential as you want to be. I promise you that's what we want here. There's so many facets to your journey that will be of great help to the folks watching.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure I left space because I know people might have it's like you said a lot. Let me tag myself in and ask questions.
And that's great because I always forget to say this up front. We have our intern, Ashley, with us tonight, and she's going to be moderating the comments. So please, as Michael and I are talking, remember that you're part of the community. The Power Hour is only as powerful as you make it, honestly. So folks out there, you have questions, you have comments, you just want to give a snap out to Michael, please do that because it can get awful lonely, the two of us sitting in a box together.
And I actually want to say I think it's really important if you are a writer or whatever you want to do, particularly something really creative, because frankly, you're taking a risk. I mean, granted, in this economy, everyone's taking a risk, but I would like to say I'm very much aware of, like, in terms of publishing and like me trying to go into television with the adaptation of I Can't Date Jesus. I'm very much aware of all of these spaces are not designed with people like me in mind. That's not to say that I don't know that I'm not capable of that, but I'm aware of the prejudice that will be used against me. You know what I mean? Like, it was very difficult to get I Can't Date Jesus sold because I wanted to write my story in a way that kind of felt foreign to them, like basically writing about a screwed up life in a funny way, but also being really serious about it. I think that's frankly something white people get to do. Like, if I were white, they'd just say Augustine Burroughs, or even like me talk pretty one day. Oh, like the darker essays that, in the middle. It's something, they would have that point of reference, but I'm black, so they don't think it. And I think a lot of times when you're an other, particularly if you are black and you grow up without money, people want to consume you in terms of like pathology. I actually tweeted last week for a lot of black writers, but I know this is true for queer writers too, but particularly black writers. I'm like, I'm sure a lot of people are hitting you up. I want folks to make their money. It really is hard to get work right now. Also, at the same time, if you can afford not to take it and it's more important to you to have peace of mind, don't take it. But that said, I know people have to eat, but a lot of these editors are only hitting up black writers for their pain and their grief. And that few $100 or maybe more if you get whatever. But even that, like, it might not be worth it. Like, it really might not be worth the greater good. So, but that's also sometimes a privileged choice to make. But I also want writers also to think as much about their voice and their art and all of those things. You also really need to be business minded. You also really need to be cognizant of the people that you're dealing with. Someone asked me today, and I hope it's going to come across as like shade, but it is how it is. Wanted me to participate in something that I just frankly felt would be a waste of my time, and that I was supposed to kind of like basically tag myself into whining about how white people can be so racist. And I say this with all respect in the world. I love everybody equally. I hate everybody equally. I love my black folks first. But I say all to say, like, I grew up, I'm learning how to say this out loud, poor and black and abused. Like, people don't love me. Off the bat, I love me. I define me. But I judge people individually. But in terms of like whiteness, if I enter these spaces, I don't anticipate, frankly, white people to welcome me with open arms. If I'm surprised, then great. But, and even some of the people like complaining about how they were like staffed in some of these newsrooms, realistically, I've never been offered those jobs for racist and classist reasons. Those types of publications where they get to work at, they tap me when they need to seem like inclusive and diverse. The game is the game. I'm not endorsing it, but I also think, you know what? You don't value me that much, but I know this placement in the New York Times, because they're not people like me in there, that's going to help me get a book deal. It's going to help me sell my book. I Can't Date Jesus making the list, thankfully, help other black queer writers get more money than I did the first go around. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's about thinking about all of these and cognizant. I want more people to have real expectations. Again, people are surprising me right now. I will admit, there's a lot of things going on right now. Even my dad is surprising me. My dad has voted twice in his life. He's 67. He's old, I can say it. The only 2 times was Barack Obama. My mom told me today he got the mail-in ballot for the local election. He actually wants to vote. I'm like, watch out, Donald Trump. So I said, like, I'm able to like have people surprise me. And I was telling you about the sundown town in Texas had a Black Lives Matter rally. That blew my mind too. I'm willing to let people surprise me, but I really do think people need to have, especially us, have expectations about how the world really treats you. That's not to be like cynical, but again, be more business minded. I want people to actually make money and survive in their art and be kind of, again, we all have to pull each other in. I don't know how I went on that tangent, but I think it's really important. So yes.
And I agree. And the commerce side of it, and it's good that you are acknowledging that. And there's the book, everybody. Go buy it now. Go buy a copy for yourself. That's what I say. Go buy a copy for yourself.
If you can swing it, I would really appreciate it. On paperback, Toya, trade paperback, it's more affordable. But even that, like, look, it has still been really. I'm very grateful for the the press that I've been getting and working really hard. But that's still a lot of me having to do that. And I think a lot of people attach certain things to your title, like very much, and I don't want to that part trying to remove this idea of what you think necessarily success looks like. Like I'm very adamant about making the New York Times bestseller list literally around the same week, same couple of days that I lost my health insurance at the time. So I'm being really realistic about what things look like, about how you can make X amount of money and still technically be broke if you're starting from behind. This is it's more for me about trying to get everybody to be really honest about how things work in this country, beyond just like cute captions and nice interview bits. Like we need to really be frank about money and how a lot of us are treated.
So these are the two books. I Can't Date Jesus. I Don't Want to Die Poor. You're now surrounded by your body of work.
Yes, no, we love them and just.
And we have a dedicated bookshop.org playlist.
Yeah.
That spotlights all the authors that have been on. And what's wonderful about that book list on bookshop.org, a percentage of those sales go back to independent bookstores.
Yes, it does.
And a percentage goes back to the authors, to a larger percentage than usual. So please support that book list. All our authors are there, but especially Michael's, both his books are on that list. So please go buy that. Go buy one for yourself, one for a friend, one for an enemy who will become a friend, one for your 67-year-old dad who just started voting, and whoever else. Buy one, and make sure this too, this is important. I always want to say this. Make sure your local library has a copy of both these books.
Right.
And make sure your local schools have copies. The library will buy a copy if you request them to. Your local schools, you can buy and donate one, and please do. Okay? We already have a comment.
I saw it. Thank you.
I loved your first book, Potent, and so funny. I can't wait to read your new one and everything after. Go buy it right now. Go buy it. So let's talk about your journey. Let's talk about if you're comfortable, because I mean you talk about a lot of it in I Can't Date Jesus. So I'd like to start there and then move into the second book.
Okay. So I mean I Can't Date Jesus. I don't. It's not for like the brevity's for sake of, but I just want to kind of also. I grew up in what I guess an abusive home. My dad was struggled with alcoholism. There was violence in the home. I write about it in the book. My mom is a devout Catholic, so needless to say, that's not necessarily the best environment for a person who realizes he likes boys. That said, what I do in the book is write about. I think this is really important for anybody in general. This might be going into mother love. This is a dated reference, but I like mother love, and we can say Ayanga. Either way, what I thought was really important about I Can't Date Jesus in general is that sometimes you'll never get the closure from people that you're seeking. Like particularly a lot of queer people, or those people who grew up like me, just not out of money. You know, people who were broken and doing the best that they can, but that might not be that great. Some people are incapable of giving you having the language or giving you whatever you're seeking. So sometimes you have to create that within yourself. And by that, I mean, for me, it was to really understand why my father is the way that he is. That's understanding the cycles of violence. That's understanding his own abuse. And like you knew that growing up because it would be repeated to you, but it's kind of like understanding as an adult. I mean, understanding as an adult so you don't repeat those mistakes. There's a forgiveness that is talked about in I Can't Date Jesus, and there's something I Don't Want to Die Poor, which is separate, but it's another level of understanding in terms of like his addiction. And with my mom, it's just kind of realizing, sometimes with a lot of the stories about, with queer people when they come out, it's like the parent really accepts it or they don't. You kind of just get the best of the worst. And for a lot of people, there's this weird middle. And a lot of people really struggle with their religion in that their better senses tell them that a person really is just who they are. But in a lot of cases, the reasons why they hold on to a very specific part of faith isn't always necessarily just pure ignorance. It's something for them that keeps them going. That's a really tricky thing. Again, it's not forgiving, it's not excusing, it's just understanding. Because I think when you really can understand where a person is coming from, even when you don't agree, even if you're willing to have to let them go for your own peace of mind, I just think it gives you a sense of peace to really understand what is the root of all of that gave you pain in life. And now you can kind of, at least for me, move beyond it. And it can be tricky in that, writing about this kind of stuff, particularly just black people don't really do that, particularly Southern Black people, wasn't the best situation. Particularly with my mom, my dad, whatever, he don't really know what's going on. Somewhat aware, but whatever. My mom didn't take it as well, but I don't know. 3 pandemics and counting later, are we talking about the details of the book? No, but I talk to my mom every day. We're in really good contact, and she actually doesn't think I'm going to hell as far as the potential TV show goes. So, and actually not because of money, because she don't care about that. It's just like a genuine support of me and wanting me to do well. It's again realizing, because she told me as I write in I Can't Date Jesus, you care too much about what I think. Just be you. And again, I think for a lot of people, at least the people that have written me books, written me emails, like older people who've been in that position, who have been the hurtful parent or the other person, the child. I like that a lot of people have reached out to me to say, I'm glad that you wrote it this way, because this actually mirrors my experience. This kind of really muddled, nuanced thing. And that's kind of essentially what I try to do in all my work. Yeah, I think I answered the question, hopefully.
You did. And I guess my follow-up is this. There's so much honesty in both books.
Thank you.
And it's incredibly embracing at times. You feel taken in by your life and your words and who you are. And there are other times where you feel almost like you're in violation of trust, like there's so much of it there. How did you find that balance between being as honest as you are and then maybe even overstepping in a relationship, whether it's familial or with friends or lovers? Did you find yourself constantly making that assessment?
Only one person felt I overstepped, was not a relative, and I still respectfully disagree, because here's the thing, like my boo thing, Janet Mock, I very much believe in the fact that, when telling somebody else and telling your story, you're also telling somebody else's story, but you also need to be cognizant of the fact that you don't have the right to tell every aspect of someone else's story. So believe it or not, as frank as the book is, there's a lot that is not in there, because there are certain things that didn't need to be said to make the overall point. And there are things that were actually taken out even after that kind of like added consideration, just because I felt, in light of something maybe just even happened to someone else, that it would have, by the time it would have came out publication wise, it would have seemed in poor taste. Not even by anything I wrote, just by other things in life that happened, and for me, it's just kind of, even though I know my parents were never going to read the book, I knew their brothers or sisters probably would. And so when my aunts read it and said you were honest but respectful, that was exactly what I tried to be. And so that is when I knew I nailed it. But I'm cognizant of the fact that, like, everybody's business isn't mine to tell. I'm telling my story, so what only needs to be told is what happened to me in that context. I think it's really important not to share everything, because it's not for you to do that. It's just a level of consideration I think makes the difference. Because had I told everybody else's like business in the context, maybe he would have made it like a page turner, but that would have been so tacky and kind of wrong. And ultimately, probably would have made it messier than it needed to be. So, and that's just not my style anyway.
I mean, that's one of the things that by doing it as an essay collection, it allowed Shakespeare to be proud of you. Brevity was the soul of your wit. You found the encapsulations of each moment, but it still breathes. It still breathes so well.
Were you little details? Go ahead.
Were you concerned, or were you advised by anybody, given the different subject matter between the two books? I'm sure everybody was looking for I Can't Date Jesus to Electric Boogaloo. They were looking for like a sequel. They were looking for the same.
Oh, actually, I didn't even. I already had a book proposal in my, I didn't even wait for anyone to kind of like come. To be honest, it was really hard to get I Can't Date Jesus. So I got a lot of really polite no's for like a year and a half. And the thing about polite no's is you can't really do much with that shit, because it's like, a lot of the emails would be really lengthy and thoughtful, and it would have specifics. And sometimes people would have they would be like, man, I hate what that guy did to him, like really seeming really involved. And then we'll say something like, well, I just published this other book that really isn't anything like it, but he's white. And I don't know, it would just be weird. So like an email like that, it's all lengthy, but then you think, you can't buy it because this white boy put out a book called something that really doesn't have anything to do with me anyway. But okay. Or other folks would say, I really like it, I just don't think anyone will buy it. Or people saying not so many words, flat out, I don't think white people care about black people homophobic, which I keep saying throughout the first run is like, I reject those notions, but that's what somebody told me, somebody really high up. So people weren't clamoring, I think once I Can't Date Jesus came out and then certain outlets paid attention, like being on Fresh Air or Get on the Breakfast Club, like even make sure in the X of the New York Times, but like even that, like that was a lot of me hustling. Respect to Terry Gross, but like for realizing a lot. But some of the other stuff was me. Then more people paid attention, but by then, like I already had an idea of what I was going to write for the book. Because literally, again, like in February when I did the New York Times essay, I was already setting the table for like what I thought would be a second book. It took a long time for me to get my first book deal, so I already had a vision for my life in a lot of ways. It's just other people to catch up with it. Yeah, I've had a lot of false starts on a lot of different things, like on-air work. It's really still difficult to convince people to trust that someone like me has more appeal than they would give me credit for.
Well, I'll tell you this. This is no smoke whatsoever. It was only like a week and a half ago, you were on NPR, and my wife came home and said, you have to have this guy on. I just heard him on NPR, and I was like, oh, who is it? And she was like, I don't remember his name. He wrote a great book. And then she described the book, and I was like, was it Michael Arceneaux? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, we're having him on next week.
I'll tell you what. We love him.
Well, I mean, love to you, because you did. You are. It's very engaging. The stories are resonate so strongly, but the way that you tell them, and that's the other part of it that I wanted to talk with you about, is there's so much of this that would be so hard for so many folks to find humor in. How do you find the humor?
Well, honestly, everyone in my family is really funny, and we all have a different sense of humor. My dad is really, really funny. My mom is hilarious. My brother's hilarious. My sister's funny. We're really funny. And the thing about, I don't know. Well, it's not. I do know. I'm learning to really say the kind of the words like abuse and all these things. But you can find even the people who have done really like a lot of harm by you, there are still always moments where you actually can think about, oh, I actually love them. You just kind of have to get through the fog of like a lot of the other stuff. But like everyone in my house is funny. I think humor in a lot of ways is how we all stayed alive. That in some sense of faith, be it, for some folks still this or just a different variation. But all of us are just really funny. Like everybody in my house is really funny, and everyone has a different sense of humor. But yeah, I think for me, if I didn't laugh, I'd probably be dead. So yeah, I will say with I Don't Want to Die Poor, I don't force humor in anything. What annoys me sometimes about myself is that like something really terrible will happen and I will make a joke and then I get annoyed with me. One thing I knew to do in I Don't Want to Die Poor is actually sometimes, even if my natural inclination was to make a joke, I kind of took it out because I thought sometimes you should just let that breathe and then be funny when it's funny. But like, I am literally the person who like cracks jokes after like I got robbed at gunpoint in DC because I could have got robbed at home for free without the debt. So I just kind of have that sense of humor anyway. But yeah, it helps.
That's so funny you mentioned that. I was robbed at gunpoint in Park Slope in Brooklyn.
Park Slope?
Yeah, Park Slope. It wasn't exactly what it is now.
Okay, that actually makes sense. I remember hearing about old parks. I was okay, fine, fair enough.
So this is late '80s, and
yeah, you got it.
I had a little tiny gold gun, and he pointed it right at my chest, and I had $1 in my pocket. The guy I was with had $90, and I was like, he has a lot more money. Point the gun at him. Like I could find that moment. And I'm like, that's one of the most proud moments of my life is I was able at gunpoint to still crack a freaking joke. So I understand that.
And you were trying to survive. I'm impressed. And actually, where I got robbed at gunpoint now, it's in Northeast. It's very lovely over there, like very overpriced combos and a nice Trader Joe's. So shout out to the Japanese fried rice. I miss it.
We'll have to after this. We'll have to go when Saturday.
Yeah, when it's
I'll come out. So I'd like that very much. But here's the thing: it's one thing to find humor in a one-off situation, but you're in a household that's by your own writing oppressive, that's abusive, that's difficult. It's amazing to me that you were able to find that you say that your dad was funny.
Yeah, everybody was. I don't know. It's chaos, and it. But you know what though? I would say, like, honestly, a lot of people unfortunately live like that. Frankly, there are a lot of people who, a lot of these are rooted in class struggles, all these other things. But people carry a lot of stuff with them. But I do think most people kind of are funny, naturally inclined anyway. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't say I know a lot of screwed up people with a great sense of humor, because I think that's just a thing that keeps a lot of people going. But there would be moments that were really dark, and then hours later, you could laugh at something. You would still probably be, at least I would still be mad. But it was just, yeah, it's twisted, but that's just kind of how those types of environments are anyway.
I respect Twisted. While you're going through this journey of both books, because they're both equally difficult journeys to go through, financial concerns and people's, backgrounds of that nature are kind of like third rail. Like, you don't talk about things, right? And you brought it all out. And during the journey of each book and you unpacking everything, and basically it's like archaeology, finding all these things from your past and seeing what's worthy of keeping and what's not worthy of being included. What were some of the biggest surprises of what you found that maybe you weren't expecting?
I honestly hated writing each book because the realities of kind of economics. So not getting a lot of money, like I got $15,000 for the first book. I should have at least 50, but it's whatever. I already out earned thanks to readers, so thank you, keep buying. So it paid off in the end, but that I won't say robbed from me, but it was like I got 8 months to write a book that I had been trying to write for several years. But because I didn't get a lot of money, I still had to write full time because I full time write and freelance. And the reason why I full time freelance is, when I graduated, it was the Great Recession and media was imploding, and there were no jobs. And when there were maybe some jobs, I either wouldn't get hired, again, for those racist classist reasons, or the jobs I got hired didn't pay enough to pay off my other things. So I was always writing. What I will say overall is I am, and I don't mean this in an arrogant way, I do not like, because of the current state of the economy with wage stagnation, we're all working more than we should, that I've had to churn out so much in a relatively short amount of time. However, I am proud that with I Can't Date Jesus, I still produced a book that I'm very much proud of. I actually thought the second book experience would be a lot easier because I got more money, a lot more money for the first one. Not rich, but a lot more money to actually let me write it. But as I write in the book, the fragility of a lot of people's economic situation is no matter how many checks you're making, if you're starting from behind, and particularly if you're in debt, and most Americans are in debt, you miss one check, you're still going to be hurting. And so I ended up, for another reason, it's a longer story, but something I thought was going to happen professionally did not, and it distracted from the budget and the schedule that I created for this other book. So between that and people dying on me and a lot of other stuff, writing the second book was like a miserable experience, actually more than the first one, because I thought I was already over this. Like, I literally thought, like, wait, this was not, we're supposed to be done with this aspect of the life. It was not supposed to be that way. And it was I really resented writing it, but because I was contractually obligated, I will say once I kind of had no choice but to get it done, even though it was really hard to write. I am impressed and still somewhat surprised that I was as honest in the book as I was. I was going to be blunt about how it impacts you, but I didn't necessarily know I was going to say that much. I surprised myself so much, I guess, to that point. But I thought it was important as I was writing, because I'm like, if you're going to really feel this way, I wouldn't say I needed to feel this way. I would have very much like, have a checking account better. But yeah, I was forced to really emote and forced to really get my feelings out, and that proved cathartic. And frankly, as I know this sounds weird, but and hopefully not shitty, but my 2020 is still better than my 2019 with 3 pandemics and counting, by virtue of the fact that I just am more secure. And also, to be honest, minus the doomsday pandemic, a lot of what people were facing last year, like, people dying on you unexpectedly, all this stuff was happening to me last year. And, I guess if you read my books, I'm used to this. No one's ever used to it, but you know what I mean? Like I'm used to certain types of struggles. So that was, I hope that answered the question.
Don't worry about answering the question. We're just here to have a conversation.
The interviewer, me who does interviews, is like, are you actually answering the question? Sorry, that's me grading me.
I hear you. I believe it. It's so interesting when we have an author on, especially a journalist, and I see that. I see the mechanisms in your head saying to you, am I being a good answerer because I'm used to being the one.
I need to turn it off. I'm like, this is what you want to turn it off, but it's okay. Baby steps.
We want you to relax. We want you to feel good. Do you know, and I'm just going to be really frank here, do you know the tremendous impact you had for Black queer authors? You really made a difference in allowing so many to succeed in your wake. Are you comfortable?
I know that when I know that I share that with Darnell Moore, I know I share that with people. Okay, so I want to make sure I say this right. So
take your time.
I know that I have definitely exceeded the expectations of people who should have known better. And I say that modestly. I also know that, it is very difficult to get Americans to purchase books broadly. And while I have done pretty, all right, there's still a battle to get, more people to find I Can't Date Jesus. Because I do think when people find me, they like my work. And that's another thing I wanted to kind of piggyback off earlier. I have faith in like the public, like the consumer, like the reader. I have never doubted that if like literally white people in their 70s love me, and so do I, like aunties. Like I get queer boys like from every type. I really, yes. I know that I made an impact in that people who predate me and are straight with actual bigger followings than me, that my book comes up in their meetings. And I do know that queer authors that came afterwards, based on the performance of I Can't Date Jesus, particularly in making the list. I do realize the list alone, because I don't know, I try to make sure people know this. So when you sell books, when you sell a fiction book, you basically usually write that on spec. In certain cases, with fiction, you could maybe do some type of proposal, maybe like 50 pages. That's kind of more so rare from my understanding. Nonfiction book proposals are essentially like a creative vision as much as it is a business plan. So you very much have to outline how would you market, how you have access to people. You also have to list comparative works. And so when you list the comparative works, you basically have to say what books are like yours are already on the market and how does yours differentiate. So for Black authors, what was a lot of the trick to keep us out for such a long time, unless you're like Steve Harvey or somebody, was, I remember when I initially started the journey of trying to get a book, like Ta-Nehisi Coates' first book, they were like, take that off the list, it didn't do that well. Granted, clearly it's done much better now, but you know what I mean? Like, I loved that book when it came out, thought it was fantastic, told me to take that off. Helena Andrews wrote this amazing book. This one agent that I'm not working with full time, told me to take it off. So I do know now that people can listen to my book as a comparative work, Black queer authors, to show that, like, yes, I'm Black and queer and I can be commercially viable. Look what Michael Arceneaux did. So I do know that much. Yeah. But I also know that people, I have to check people every day. I don't want to say it because people still think Black and queer and think less than. So, I do know I made some impact, but I also know that people try to not treat me as such. Yeah.
You said something very interesting much earlier, and I wanted to pull out that thread now. You said that one publisher said to you, or agent said to you, well, gosh, you know what? White readers aren't going to read a black writer, and the
Yeah.
black community is homophobic. So that's like two strikes right there. But you said you don't believe that.
No, I mean I've written extensively that Black people do not have a monopoly on um, homophobia or transphobia. I mean that's just like literally like, and I can't do Jesus like in articles you can Google, like statistically that just is not true. Like I just it's very much media manipulation. But beyond that though, I just it was a poor person's excuse to not have faith and take a risk. Because if you really like the book, then you would find a way to market it. You would find a way to push it if you really, really believed in it. And while I'll just say this, no, it's not an excuse because screw that. There was a dearth for a long time. There were no black authors, just literally not none. Like literally on one inside, I say how Ta-Nehisi Coates that the first book, Beautiful Struggle, people felt it wasn't performing enough. Then the other book came out, and then a wave opened. You know, it's unfortunate that happens because black people have never, like black women are actually the most loyal book buyers. Yet people don't have faith in it. It's just the stupidity of that industry blows my mind. But most people don't. A lot of people in the industry don't know anything. Yeah, she did say that, and she was black, so whatever. Don't worry, I'll yeah, whatever. I'll deal with that later. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. People don't know any better sometimes, or they do know better and they elect not to. But it's okay because my editor, Rakesh, a queer person of color, believed in me, and he got me there, and I got to write the book I wanted to write. I would tell people, I'm pretty sure if I wanted to write a different type of book, I basically wanted to sell myself as like pathology porn. I probably would have got some more money. I don't think that book would have been as impactful, or at least I would have hated it. But I got to write the book I wanted to write. I didn't get as much money as I wanted. I heard a lot of awful things from people. I'm not rare in that. The person that people that come after me, unfortunately, will still hear stupid things. But if nothing else, that book alone has proven that yes, we can be successful. We can be commercially viable. And if I can get it over the hump and get it to television, then that book will continue to just live on and reach more people and continue to make it easier for folks like me, which is really still the fundamental point.
I think it's also really interesting that you are very much comfortable talking about the business end of things, and many authors don't do that. Many authors talk about the artistic side of it, the aesthetics, the literary sensibility of it. I think it's really
That's a
refreshing.
privileged way to. I mean, not to be shady. Well, I don't shady. I don't want to. That's trivializing. But what I mean is not to say like coming from. Well, no. I just want to make sure people like I love Bravo, but let me say how I want to. I can't afford not to think about the business end because again, this isn't designed. These worlds are not designed with me in mind. Like even respectfully, like that hashtag on Twitter, publish and pay me. I commented like, well, I've already told you about what I got in my second book and impressed about it. I'm not participating in this really because the people who need to be talking about it aren't. It's also just trying to whatever. My point, like black authors talk to each other. Well, these are the ones I talk to. And I talk to my publisher when I feel a way about how I'm treated to make it easy for other people. I think it's important we talk about those things. I think it's important we talk about money. And frankly, and to be clear, like not all black authors talk to each other about money. Some people are really funny about it. A lot of people just in general are funny about talking about money, which I find really counterproductive because if we don't talk to each other, then we're not going to know. Because I will say, like, some white authors they do talk to each other and they get more money off the bat. So literally, if not for actually another queer author, if not for Samantha Irby, not for like Janet Mock, Icon, I wouldn't have known what to ask for the second book. I knew I got screwed over for the first book because I did my research and I found out, frankly, what some white boys got or what some other people got who weren't white based on what they wanted to write. Even though on paper, I still matched what they had in terms of these metrics that they judge you by. But I knew I was being played, but also knew there was nothing I could do about it because unfortunately, sometimes you can't you can't overcome people's prejudices. That doesn't mean that I had to accept it. Maybe I could have maybe tabled it. I could have done other things. I could have, pushed it along and then finally got what I felt deserved. But for me, I made a calculated choice. I felt like this is my moment to take this deal. It'll be harder. I will hate it. I will probably struggle a lot more than I need to. All of those things did happen. It was a lot worse than I thought. But I knew if I got to do what I wanted to do, it would get me over that hump. And those are the types, it was a calculated risk, but it was very much me paying attention to the business. Like I read all those trade books. I had to teach myself a lot of these things. Like you should read the trade. You should know about other stuff. You should and it's funny because they would be so surprised. Like that was actually and when I got that little quip about black people, like white people, it was also like, oh, you've done your research. I'm like, of course I did, beloved. Why? I can't depend on y'all. Y'all not. If I depended on y'all, I wouldn't get shit. Sorry, but yeah, I do think it's really important for people to know the business. You really should pay more attention to the business because you need to make money. I mean, art is important. I think about my art. I am an artist, but what is art? I mean, for me, and I'm very much true about this, and I don't want to die poor. I write about my struggles, but I'm very clear. Like I would be struggling doing most other jobs unless I literally worked in like finance because of the structure of my debt. I'm very clear in that book. If I could not support myself with my art, if I couldn't struggle even and pay a roof over my head, I would have to go find something else to do. Because I joke about it, but yeah, my uncle Terry got arrested. So he used to be like, "When you gonna work in a building?" Because they were like, "Where's the money? Where's the job?" Because that's my reality. You know what I mean? Like that's my reality. I have to take care of myself. I don't have anybody to fall back on, is what I mean. Like a lot of people who talk about that, they can go back home. They can, lean on maybe people more, and that's a blessing because most people really can't afford the sacrifices to exist within media and entertainment. I am very fortunate in that my mom could even do just a little bit from, you know what I mean? Like that made all the difference in the world. Yeah.
So you've I know a lot of people are very excited. So can you tell us how is the TV adaptation of I Can't Date Jesus going? Where are you with that? Can you share it? A lot of people are very excited.
TV moves slow, but I'm very excited. I was like, TV moves slow, but I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I really love talking with Gerard Carmichael. He's so smart. I don't want to jinx anything, but again, I'm very business oriented, so I am not hedging my bets on one thing, and I never would. But I'll just say this: I Can't Date Jesus obviously is really personal to me. Houston is really personal to me. I think I write very candidly about. I know how important it is to see an image of yourself that you can actually look at and not feel ashamed to look back at. So I am very much excited about the opportunity to create a show that kind of just builds on what that book is. I have so many ideas. I'm really excited whenever I think about it. And should we all survive and the economy, not that man don't implode the economy even more? I think I can make a really beautiful show, and yeah, let's just be very happy. But I'm going to be in television. I belong in television, and I'm really excited.
I agree. We agree. I know that everyone watching agrees, and we're very
also, wish on a star, lift me in prayer, whatever. But yes, I'm excited, and they're excited, and people have been really great about the news. I will say that. So thank you.
No, I mean you can tell when you read it and it pops, and you say, gosh, there's some things you read, and the language and the literary aspect of it is such an important part of what it is.
Thank you. I wrote it. I wrote the book hoping for it to be adapted. I was very intentional about that, and I didn't assume it would be, but I wrote it, and I wrote the things in ways that I want people to see it. So when it's funny. So with like a lot of college internships, you don't get paid, which in of itself is a nightmare. But the one program I did before I graduated, and I had that extra year, which added debt. But Chris Rock used to have a comedy writing program with Comedy Central. There was one time I got paid. I got to learn every facet of the industry. was really interesting actually when I lived in LA. As I mentioned, I Can't Date Jesus. That's when I tried to break into TV, but there were really no Black people there. But I knew that again, those worlds are not made for people like me and mine. So I think, well, how do other people get in there? So I was very cognizant of the fact that like books are for a lot of ways for a lot of people to get into television. I also just think it was really important to have for it to be seen that way, because usually my type of books don't get seen that way. So, but why not? So yeah. And one of the I brought up the Chris Rock thing because one of the execs that I met back at that time, who went on to be a very, very fancy and rich person, I remember when I met him, he was like, "I could tell you wrote it that way," and I was like, "Yeah, thank you. You caught the scam."
It's interesting. You mentioned David Sedaris early on, and he's one of my favorites too. And we're trying to get him on the show. Actually, good luck. But his work, I could never see on television.
Well, no, I agree.
Like I can hear it, like when he does the great audiobooks, that works beautifully. But I can't see it being dramatized, being put in that way. But your work just, again, the only word I can use, and I'll repeat myself, is it pops.
Thank you.
There. So so thrilled, and can't wait. I'll be a front row center if there's still
appreciate it, because honestly, I literally, I mean, it's been like, again, I didn't grow up much, but like when we finally got cable when I was 8, mind you, still turning TV with like pliers and shit, but for WrestleMania 8, but that's when I got like into CNN. Like I was into news, but like stuff like Janet said this before in interviews, but pop culture is that's how a lot of people learn about a world outside of them. They actually get the idea, like possibilities. Like my mom made sure I like read Black authors and read books, and like she made sure she took me to museums. Like she was very adamant about me not really realizing like people don't expect us to evolve. But like really just through cable, I learned so much about the world and so much about people. And so I know that like if I get to create this show, I'm gonna get to reach like queer boys, and they're gonna really get to see an image of themselves that's because I write about a lot of Black queer boys who end up deciding not to be in this world anymore because of bullying and because they they don't think they can love themselves. And I really do think stuff like that really makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference. We talk about that a lot on the show. A lot of folks have talked about representation, how seeing themselves on a screen is so very important. So yeah, and again, I don't want anyone. I want to make sure I want to make this crystal that although you're talking about the business of it, it all stems from you wanting to make sure that, by your words, those Black queer boys see themselves.
Yeah, I'm business oriented, but like if I can tell because you just noted, like I'm still all speaking from a place of like, this is my heart, and this is like, I usually don't talk that way, but like that is my heart, and this is my creative actual passion. Like everything I'm talking about, these are all things that like literally I dream about. They make me feel alive. Granted, the head me noting the business aspect of it is just kind of just being realistic about how things work. Because again, if you read I Can't Date Jesus, I didn't grow up thinking life could be, I didn't enter the world with blinders. So I think at this point now, it's best to learn every situation. That's also hood instincts. Just know what it is before you enter the room. But yeah, like I'm business oriented, but all of this is stuff I'm just like passionate about. None of this is like something I'm doing for the sake of $1. If anything, which I hope people hear me when I say I accepted less money, I knew that I was at a risk. But I took less money to stick to the vision I had for myself. I stuck to a vision that I think I wanted Black authors queer authors to write thing. Be very mindful. I have sentences in my book like, I don't care about white people like that. So I'm very aware. And again, when you read, it's not about it's like not centering whiteness. How often Black queer boys, particularly on the internet, are having to talk about themselves always in like how white people see them or how white people want them, like, or to pathologize themselves for consumption for other audiences. I just think there's a certain way that we should be able to write. And I know that it might be more financially beneficial to do it that way, but I was adamant about doing it my way to show people that come after me there's a different way. Yeah.
No, that's exactly
business oriented, but be business oriented about stuff that you really feel passionate about. Don't be an empty suit. That I'm not advising that, but just be, if you really believe that you're doing something really important, if you really want to go and I want to be, I want to make money, I want to be secure, but I also want to go to sleep at night and be really proud of the work I do and wake up every morning and be excited about it.
And I mean, and it shows, and that's why I wanted to crystallize that. I wanted to
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And speaking of business, let's do the business. So now again, you are bookended literally by your books. This one,
yeah, I hope I didn't sound like I don't want to sound like CNBC. That's not. No. That really is not what I mean. But it's just I think it's important because the reality is I appreciate I think I have achieved a lot, but I also know how people look at that and don't care. Like I will say about that hashtag in some regard, when someone like Jesmyn Ward, who is literally one of the finest writers alive, this country is lucky to have her. When she says she got $100,000, she didn't finally get $100,000 advance. I forgot which book, but it was something after she won a national book award. Do you know what I mean? Like most people don't ever win those awards, much as even Black people, and she did all that, and people were still trying to play her financially. That's the only reason why I meant to talk about the business then, because I think, like what I don't want to pour, I've been very adamant on Instagram. I'm like, right now, I know a lot of people can't afford my book, particularly people I'm trying to reach. So I've been giving away copies because I can't pay people's bills yet. I ain't got it like that yet. I've been giving money to like family when I can help them, giving money to organizations I believe in, like bail funds, food banks, and like things that I really know that I can do that means something for me. But that's what I like want to make sure that creatives and artists and people who use their art, particularly for activism or advocacy, to also keep in mind that you should be aware of how we're treated still, and that we should get what we deserve. That's the focus. But like, yeah, I was very like upset with like someone like that, the words that she's given us and what they've earned, and they still treat it like that, and I still get treated even worse. Like that was the point.
No, it makes complete sense. Ashley, our intern, Ashley, do me a favor. You just throw up just the bookshop.org link in and of itself, so I can throw it up on the screen. I don't want to be flippant, when I say buy one for yourself, buy one for your friend, buy one for your enemy, they'll become your friend, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not being flippant. The authors that come on the show especially need our support, and you can see Michael's voice is so important. What I challenge our viewers to do this: buy a copy for yourself. Make sure your local library has a copy by requesting it. It's very simple. And then please consider buying a second copy to give away to one of those kids that could really use to read this voice. And that's something I think that we can do in these times. I
mean, talking about money is a journey for me, because as I've been joking, it has been much easier to talk about being scared of a penis or whatever than talking about being late or having a bill collector call you. So it's been a journey for me all around. Thank you.
Well, we want to support and your voice to write these two books that have there's obviously a similar voice. It's your voice, but there's such a different idea behind each of them, and the fact that you had the bravery to do that, even though it was your plan, even more so maybe, because most people are like, oh, look, this succeeded, I'll put that'll be my third book. But you said, no, this is my vision, this is what I see, this is what I need to say, and you did it.
I really, a lot of people are hurting, and so many people and I just feel like I guess we got officially christened the unluckiest generation, like millennials. I just felt really annoyed with these narratives, always talking about student loan debt in the context of it's bad, or you should sacrifice we should sacrifice even more just to pay off debt. No one really wants to talk about the struggles, the fact that we've been conned, how this healthcare system kills us. Literally, I didn't on that note, but I write about an Uncle Don of AIDS in my first book, my Uncle Terry, who, and I reference in the title chapter. He died too. And one thing I'm realizing in this pandemic, in my own stresses and my own stuff, this country will kill me if I let it. So I have to really take care of myself all around. in terms of spiritual health, like mental health, like just being better, being quiet, learning to look away, learning to engage when I can, keep my mask on, but all these things just to kind of, again, I didn't know I was going to be as detailed as I was in I Don't Want to Die Poor, but I think it was really for the greater good, because if nothing else, I showed that, this shame that we all carry with us sometimes about money, or this emotional debt, it could eat us alive and we could literally hurt ourselves. And you should learn to forgive yourself for something that you should not need to be forgiven for anyway. And that's just kind of like, be better with your life. Okay, I'll stop now, but yeah.
No, please don't stop. I know we're over 8 o'clock, and I want to thank you for taking extra time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This was fun.
Prince's birthday yesterday, so we celebrate by having a little bit of after party right now. Thank you, my friend. This was everything that we hoped for and more. I know that it's of a moment, and I think that we spoke to this moment just by your energy and your character and your passion. So thank you for that.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for staying on me. I'm so sorry about the publisher thing the first time about that, but I really have. It was really great talking to you. Like, your spirit is great. Thank you to everyone who's watching, who's been kind about the books. It means a lot. And again, thank you, and wish me luck about the TV thing.
Sandra says, I just want to end with this from the audience. It's amazing to quote unquote meet you here. I just purchased both books. I'm building a collection for my kids who are growing up in this crazy world because of these amazing conversations. Sandra, thank you. I want to tell you, Michael, that Sandra and her family, wonderful supporters, volunteers of the center, they actually went to Newark yesterday for the Black Lives Matter rally, and represented the center, and we love them, and thank you.
I saw that footage. It was beautiful. The footage there, and in Philly and in Houston, everyone's like, yeah, thank you.
All right. Really great. I don't want to hold you any longer. Will you just hang out for a minute while I say goodnight so I can say goodnight to you personally?
Sure.
Right, great. Thank you. Have a great night. So that was everything. This is the book. Again, you won't be sorry. Buy this. Buy I Can't Date Jesus. They are wonderful, beautiful explorations of who Michael is and what this moment represents for all of us. So I can't recommend them highly enough. I want to thank all of you for being here, for being a part of the conversation, for being part of our beloved community. Again, please be back every night this week and every night for Pride. Tomorrow is Queer Yoga with Master Jasmani. We are going to have a wonderful, quiet moment together, breathe, both literally and figuratively. Then we come back Wednesday with a great guest, Ann Lieberman from Athlete Ally. And then we have Carly Moore, Not Wives, novel, beautiful, different, all sorts of different kind of books. So we can't wait to talk about that. And then Friday, we end the week with our open and out mic night. And then we start all over again next week with this incredible folks. But I'll let you go for now. Gosh, I love being here with you all. I love being here with Michael. This has been a tremendous experience, as all of the over 60 episodes we've done thus far. Every one of them I cherish, and every one of you I cherish. I hope you have a great 23 hours until we meet again. I look forward to seeing you all back here at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Thanks so much for your time and your energy and your spirit.